All right, we are going to do a quick lesson on Chapter 8, Section 1, but we're only going to be talking about interior angles specifically, so that's why interior angle is underlined. So we're going to be finding a missing interior angle of a polygon. So when we're talking about interior angles, we're talking about angles that are on the inside of my polygon. So on this slide, I have a picture of a hexagon because we have 6 sides. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? And what we're trying to do ultimately is solve for x. So I know I have 6 sides on this polygon. So my first step, which is right here, is to find the sum of the interior angles. And in order to do that, I need to use the formula n minus 2 times 180. Okay? So n right here stands for the number of sides. And we said this is a hexagon, so it has 6 sides. So I'm going to plug 6 in for n. So let me erase this. So I'm going to say 6 minus 2 times 180. And 6 minus 2 is 4. And when I multiply that by 180, I get 720. So the sum of my interior angles in this hexagon is 720 degrees. So my step 2 right here is to actually solve for x, which is what we're ultimately trying to do. So to do that, what I do is I take every single one of these angles, and I'm going to add them up. So I have 2x, and then I have 121, plus 96, 101, 162, and I have that square right here, which represents 90 degrees. Okay? Since I have 6 sides, I should have 6 angles written down here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we know that we're correct. And we just figured out that all of this, when I add it up, it's equal to 720 degrees. So that's what I'm going to set it equal to. My first step is to combine my like terms. So all of the numbers that don't have an x next to it, which are all of these. So what I'm left with is 2x by itself, because there's no x's to combine that with. But when I combine all of the others, I have 570. So 2x plus 570 is still equal to 720. So my first step is to get rid of that 570 by subtracting, because the opposite of adding is subtracting. So those cancel out, and I'm left with 2x is equal to 150. My last step, since this is 2 times x, is to divide, because the opposite of multiplying is dividing, leaving me with x is equal to 75 degrees. So on this next slide, you're going to do the same exact thing. We have a different picture. In this case, we have a pentagon. So it has 5 sides. So you're going to follow the steps. Step 1, which is finding the sum of the interior angles. And then step 2, which is solving for x. So what you need to do now is you need to pause this video real quick. Just try this question on your own. And then when you're done, you can start the video up again so that you can see if you completed the steps correctly and solve for x correctly. So pause your video right now, and then we'll get started again later. Okay, so hopefully you've tried that question on your own. So we've already discussed that this is a 5-sided figure. So my first step in finding the sum of the interior angles is doing the n minus 2 times 180. So I have to plug 5 in for n. 5 minus 2 times 180 is 3 times 180. So you end up getting 540. So this is the sum of your interior angles. The second step is to actually solve for x. So I'm going to take every single one of these angles, all 5 of them, because it's a 5-sided figure, and I'm going to add them up. So I'm going to start with my x just so that I have that in front. I'm going to add the 86, 140, 138, and 59. all of that equals my 540, which is what I'm going to put down here. Okay? So, first step in solving this is combining our like terms, so simplifying, just so that it makes it easier on us. So when I simplify that, I have 423 is what those add up to be. So I'm left with x by itself plus 423 is equal to 540. Now I gotta get x by itself, so that means I gotta get rid of this 423 right here. So the opposite of adding is subtracting. So I need to subtract that 423. And I'm left with x is equal to 117.